of students and make our programming a lot more accessible to a lot more of them. And as evidenced by all of you here tonight, we are also able to re-engage a whole number of alumni across the country in our programs in a way that we've never been able to do before. So we're super excited about that, actually. And going forward, we're going to be looking for ways to maintain some of the positive aspects that we've been able to kind of take advantage of over the last year. And on a personal note, I just want to say that tonight is definitely a little bittersweet for me. As most of you know, I will be leaving PLEN at the end of the week to take on a new position. It's been an amazing 5 years, and I'm so thrilled that I've been able to be part of this organization. I've met so many amazing people, and it's been a huge part of my life. And I'll be sad to leave, but as many of you know, you don't ever really leave PLEN. So I'm sure I'll be seeing you in other capacities going forward. So with that, I am going to have Caitlin play our first little snippet here.
This last week at PLEN has been incredible. I've learned practical skills about networking.
Really learned how to be bold and use my voice for the issues that I care about.
How to voice my opinion by myself and not wait for other people to talk on my behalf.
My PLEN power is believing in myself and in my abilities because I do have what it takes to be successful.
My PLEN power and something I really want to take with me is to really think about the fact that we are not imposters. Wherever we are, if we are there, we deserve to be there. And I think that's something really important for everyone to think about, especially as women and non-binary folks going into public policy. Really need to know that we belong there. You're worth it, and that's something I really want to take with me after this.
PLEN has taught me to be authentic. Throughout our whole time at this PLEN conference, all of these wonderful, amazing women have said, learn who you are and bring the best of you forward.
Great. Yay. I'm gonna also now have Michelle Zamperetti on our board say a few words about a little activity we have going on tonight.
Well, thank you, and what a wonderful video. My name is Michelle Zamperetti. I'm a member of the PLEN board. I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm running tonight's fundraising auction. Keep your eyes on the chat. We will be auctioning off several great prizes from our board members, a LinkedIn review session for 1 hour from Vanessa Kermick. We have we'll be auctioning off a career coaching 1 hour session from our incoming acting executive director, Nancy, and we will be auctioning off coffee dates with Sarah, our outgoing executive director. So all of the details will be in the chat. Keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be fun. Thanks, Sarah.
Great. And we're gonna start presenting these awards. So to present our first award, I'd like to introduce PLEN Advisory Council member and President and CEO of State and Federal Communications, Elizabeth Bartz. Oh, you're on mute, Elizabeth.
No, I'm on mute again. Good evening, PLEN friends. I'm so happy to be with you. Obviously, this is a virtual hug for all of you. I am here to introduce our first honoree. Alaska has two things Ohio has never had: an elected US Senator and an elected governor. Hopefully that'll change. I am here to introduce one of the 2021 honorees, Senator Lisa Murkowski, senior senator from Alaska and the second most senior woman in the US Senate. Second to Senator Dianne Feinstein, so I'll save you that Google search. She is the first woman and first Native Alaskan to be elected from the state. Since joining the Senate in 2002, Senator Murkowski has worked tirelessly for Alaskans and earned a reputation in the Senate for her ability to work collaboratively and across the aisle to reach common sense solutions. She is one of the few in the Senate who has stood up for what she believed in, particularly when it comes to policy affecting women, often breaking with her own party. Let me share with you part of an article that she wrote about the women's suffrage. She stated, "As I write this, we are at an all-time high in the US Senate with 26, unfortunately it's now 24, female senators. This all-time high is still far too low. We must have more women serving as our lawmakers and as our policymakers. For women entering political office, there can be considerable self-doubt. We are convinced we don't have the experience. We are too young. It's too hard to balance work and a family. And the truth is, there is never a convenient time to serve in public office. But that makes it even more important to make sure, as women, we are supporting and empowering other women. I was taught if you want something done, ask a busy person." Thank you, Senator Murkowski, for knowing the inequities women continue to face and seeing the growing pressure as a nation to change them. And on behalf of PLEN, we congratulate you for being our 2021 honoree. Thank you.
Hello to you all, and thank you for recognizing me as one of your PLEN Mentor Awardees. It's indeed an honor to be recognized for this, because I think of the many opportunities that I have as a United States Senator serving from an incredible state, Alaska, and I think about what I am able to accomplish. You think about legislation, you think about the policy that you build, you think about the efforts that you make to build good reforms. That's important, that's critical, but it really doesn't all come together unless you also have that satisfaction of knowing that you've had an opportunity to shape and build young people, and particularly young women. I have an extraordinary opportunity to invite into my office every summer a group of just graduated high school students. It's men and women, but they've just graduated from high school. And it's an opportunity for many of them to be in our nation's capital for the first time. For some, it's the first time that they've ever even flown out of the state of Alaska. So it's an eye-opening, eye-popping month and a half for these young people. And so many of these young interns, particularly the young women, are ones that come back to me years later. They may come back, work the front desk, rise up to be an LA, or individuals that you see later on in life who have gone on to do extraordinary and ordinary things that make them extraordinary. And they bring it back to the mentoring and the support that they received here in my office. And I think about that. I think about the opportunity that each of us has to mentor, to help grow and shape and influence in a positive way, whether it's young women, old women, whatever the age may be. It is that giving of oneself to help another that's paying it forward in dividends. We're at a place now in the United States Senate where we have 24 women in the Senate, not our all-time high, but we recognize that we're doing better, but we have a long way to go to grow those numbers. We have a woman who's serving as our vice president, first time in history. We just confirmed a woman, a Native American woman, to be the first Secretary of Interior as a Native woman. These are historic for women. And I think about the opportunities that they have as leaders to shape, to grow, to mold, to influence other women around our country. So as you think about where you are, the role that you play, whether in politics or in business, as a commercial fisherman or a veterinarian, whatever your role may be, embrace the opportunity to mentor those, so that when you look back on your accomplishments, you cite to not only those metrics that are outlined with regards to legislation passed or policies advanced, but that you know that you have helped launch good, strong energy with other women who are empowered through your efforts. So thanks for the recognition. I appreciate it, but even more thanks go out to you for all the good work that you do. Thank you and take care.
Thank you so much. I just heard we're having a little technical difficulty letting people into the room because we seem to be at capacity, even though I thought I increased the capacity. So if people are still waiting to get in, I'm trying to figure that out in the back end. I want to introduce our next presenter, Maureen Rendon, who is a TWU student and a PLEN alumna. Maureen, I'll turn it over to you.
Good afternoon. Today, I have the honor to introduce a woman who has been instrumental in not only my development as an emerging scholar, leader, and advocate, but in many young women's lives. Mrs. Tammy Key is a former special agent and senior criminal investigator for the National Criminal Investigative Service, where for 25 years, she played a pivotal role in shaping and implementing national security programs and policy, as well as having shaped agent training in protecting victims of sexual assault. She is a volunteer deputy registrar, and it is because of leaders like Mrs. Key that people are able to exercise their right to vote. Ms. Key has also volunteered as a Sheriff's Office Victim Services Advocate to ensure prompt assistance and support to victims of crime. As the interim director at the Center for Women in Politics and Public Policy at Texas Women's University, she has sought to guide young women by empowering, uplifting, and encouraging them to be fearless in the pursuit of their dreams. The mentoring that I have received from Ms. Key is one that is rooted in values of honesty, empathy, and in a politics of solidarity and bridge building. Ms. Key told me that she wants to make sure that young women are getting the support they need to use their voices, and I'm here today to say that her work is a testament of her genuine passion for uplifting the voices of young women. She has devoted countless hours in the midst of an extremely busy life to guiding me, sharing resources, and even preparing for interviews. Without her, I would not have been able to get accepted into my top graduate program or made connections in corners of the world that I previously found unreachable. The simple act of engaging with one another to share experiences and ideas is a monumental act that has allowed me as a young aspiring leader to witness a genuine mentorship from Ms. Key that is rooted in selflessness and community empowerment. Always emphasizing the importance of sharing knowledge, Mrs. Key inspires young leaders to ground their work in a spirit of collaboration. To Ms. Tammy, you have allowed me to find my voice and my path, and this award is a testament to the impact that you continue to have on countless young women and dreamers who see you as an exceptional leader and inspiring mentor. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Maureen, for that very kind introduction. It's been a pleasure to be your mentor. I am truly grateful for this award and honored to be recognized along with the other recipients whom I greatly admire. Thank you to PLEN and the students who nominated me for this award. This year, the Center for Women in Politics and Public Policy at Texas Women's University has changed the lives of over 40 women by sending them to PLEN seminars in their specific career fields. The Center for Women in Politics and Public Policy, a program of the Jane Nelson Institute for Women's Leadership, seeks to increase the number of women in leadership positions in public service and advocacy through research, training programs, scholarships, and the creation of opportunities to become civically engaged. I also want to thank Nancy Bosker for encouraging me to take this position at Texas Women's University. In my current position, I have the chance to provide women the opportunity to cultivate their talents and encourage their voices. It has been a true privilege to mentor and lift up incredibly bright, passionate women who will have a significant impact on the future of our country. I also have to admit to you that I may be getting more out of these mentoring relationships than they are. These women challenge me and the way I perceive things. They lift me up with their passion and energy, and they give me hope for a future where we all have a voice and are equally valued. Mentoring is a great way to nurture their talents and help them achieve their dreams. It has been the most satisfying part of my position because it has the direct capacity to change lives. When I was 25, I sold all my possessions and got on a plane with 2 suitcases to move across the country to start a new career as a special agent. It had not yet occurred to me that in a male-dominated profession where only 8% of all federal agents were female, that I would continuously have to prove that I, a woman, had something to contribute. I would not find many women as role models, mentors, or even in leadership positions. Over a 25-year career with 8 moves all over the world, I only had 1 female boss. There were those who did not believe that women belonged in federal law enforcement, who underestimated us, and who were surprised when we succeeded. The most important thing I could do was to educate myself, come to each task well prepared, work hard, and be resilient. At the same time, there were many people throughout my career who went out of their way to support my dreams and lift me up. Those people made a huge impact on my sense of belonging, well-being, and my success. I have always sought to pay that generosity forward and am thrilled to mentor other women through my position at TWU. Although the number of women in federal law enforcement has increased to 15%, it is far from equal. Many other career fields, from the judiciary to STEM, share similar numbers, and during the pandemic, 3 million women have left the workforce. We face incredibly challenging issues. Right now is the critical time for more women to step forward as leaders and decision makers in every career field. It's also not just stepping forward, it's a matter of good governance and policy. This requires education, research, analysis, insight, and collaboration on policy issues. That is where PLEN makes a significant impact. They provide an opportunity to learn from accomplished women who are already working on policy at the national level and act as role models of what women can accomplish. As the only national level organization training college women in policy, their work is invaluable. In closing, I'd like to thank 3 feminists, my husband, Troy, and my 2 sons, AJ and Charlie. They have supported me and made sacrifices so that I can lift others up. I am truly grateful for them backing me as I chase my dreams. Thank you all for this award. I'm honored.
Great. Thank you, Tammy. And congratulations. I am looking to see if we have Representative Underwood here yet, but I'm not sure that we do. So we are going to move on. I want to introduce our next presenter, Arushi Goval, who is also a PLEN alumna who attended Rutgers University, to introduce our next winner. Arushi.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, PLEN, for the opportunity to speak on someone I cannot even put into words how much I love and adore her. So I'll begin. Hello, everyone. I'm Arushi Goval, and as Sarah mentioned, I am a previous PLEN alumna, but I also had the honor of interning in summer 2020, and I have the honor of introducing Ariana Rodriguez for the Mariana Alexander Outstanding Alumna Award. So Ariana and I worked as interns for PLEN just in summer 2020, when everything was turned on its side with the pandemic. Never once did Ariana stare away from the challenge that comes with moving online, and was an incredible communications intern at a time where social media was our main outreach platform. She has since moved to working as a social media and content manager for Sister District, where she impacts policy by getting progressive candidates elected to state legislatures. Her work has made great waves from generating social media donations and signups, educating viewers on the ways women of color's votes are suppressed, something that is so near and dear to my heart. And I have to tell everyone, her first post at Sister District got Reese Witherspoon and 6,000 other people to like, educating so many people on such an important issue. And they continually empower women to run for office. Outside of her work, Ariana volunteers with a reproductive justice organization in her home state of Texas, and her passion and dedication to promoting reproductive health and equity for all women has inspired me throughout my time knowing Ariana. I can't think of a better candidate for the Outstanding Alumna Award, as Ariana has devoted so much of herself to help and uplift women through the acts of policy. Ariana, you inspire and motivate me, and I am so, so honored to call you to accept this award. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arushi. It is such an honor to be here with you tonight. So I grew up in the barrio, where our mariachi played at every graduation, where there was always a quinceañera to go to, and candies from Mexico were a part of every meal. I was constantly surrounded by beautiful brown people. And then I went to college and I looked around my classes, and I was the only visibly brown person, the only Rodriguez, the only person with this uncontrollably curly hair. And for the first time in my life, I was in a space that no one talked like me or looked like me. I was alone, I was scared. I was having to change myself to survive, because higher education was never made for our brown bodies. Our bodies, our stories, and our history have been explicitly left out of higher education. So when I would go back into my dorm room at the end of the day, I felt like such an imposter. So I thought about what my ancestors fought so desperately for. So where does my story begin? My grandma was forced to drop out of school to work in the fields. She worked at a toxic factory that would later give her cancer. She raised 5 kids alone. My dad and his siblings ate frijoles every morning, and every morning before they went to school, they would work in the fields. My dad was slapped on the hand at school when he spoke Spanish, and he was made fun of when he struggled speaking English. And when he left home to get an education, he only left with the clothes on his back. So you see, me feeling alone and unaccepted my first year was not just about me. Me standing here, and for the people who share my story, us being here is remarkable. I come from a legacy of hardworking brown people who prayed, lit candles, and fought discrimination and pain for me to get here. Because for us, it is so much more than a degree or an award. It is a sacrifice from generations from before us. It is unimaginable pain. My dad and my grandma could never imagine their mija getting her master's at 22 and telling their story to so many incredible women. My grandma lit her candles and prayed to her santitos that I would make it here, that all the other brown bodies in this room would make it here, a space she was not allowed in because she was too pretita. So to all the other brown bodies in this room, our existence is resistance. On days you don't feel like you belong, when you look around the classroom, no one looks like you or talks like you, you must remember your existence in these spaces that have notoriously carved out people of color matter, and you matter. Just like my grandma fought to get me here, I have the responsibility to fight for the brown girls who come after me. This is why mentoring young women means so much to me. This is why PLEN's mission means so much to me. So finally, I will leave you with this. When I was a little girl, I would tell my dad constantly, I want white skin, I want blue eyes, I want to look like my Barbie dolls. And my dad would shake me. Anna, people pay for your skin color. Your skin is beautiful. People steal pieces of our culture. They eat our food and they keep indulging in our culture while making racial slurs. So we have to be unapologetically brown because only we can share the beauty and resilience of our culture. So today I ask you to remember the beauty and pain passed into your brown skin. I ask you to remember everything and everyone who got you to this point. And I ask you to continue to take up space, even when it hurts, even when it's scary, because that is what our ancestors fought for. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I am honored to be among so many amazing women. I will pass it back to Sarah to continue the ceremony.
Thank you so much, Ariana. We love you. So it's my pleasure now to introduce our next presenter, who is going to introduce our next award winner, our special guest for this evening. So Justine Handelman, who is the Senior VP in the Office of Policy and Representation for the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association. Justine, go ahead.
Great, thank you, and good evening, everyone. When I read the mission statement for PLEN, I really feel empowered. It's a simple message with a lasting presence. The mission is to increase the number of women in top leadership positions, influencing all aspects of public policy process. As someone who has spent my entire career in public policy, I truly believe that the work we do has far reach and a real impact on American lives. And I'm proud to present this Mentor Award to Representative Underwood, who has led the charge of improving women's lives, especially Black women, and is well deserving of this recognition. Representative Underwood started as a Girl Scout, and the Girl Scouts motto, as you may know, is to be prepared, which means being ready and helping out wherever needed. And so she began her career as a registered nurse with a master's degree in public health. And she has both championed the Affordable Care Act and helped communities across the country prepare for and respond to disasters and public health emergencies. And I can't imagine a better preparation for the times we are in. When Representative Underwood won her first race for Congress, she became the first woman, the first person of color, and the first millennial to represent her community in Congress. She is the youngest African-American woman to serve in the United States House of Representatives. And she uses her gifts and talents to lift people up. She is a dedicated mentor to young people, especially people of color who want to run for office, and a true inspiration to us. We have made tremendous gains over the past few years in diversifying our country's representative bodies, but we do still have a long way to go. Representative Underwood understands we must invest in people, and that means mentorship as well as sound public policy. And I want to take this time to highlight her work on an important issue to me and to the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association, the Black Maternal Health Caucus's Momnibus package, which is a comprehensive piece of legislation to address a wide range of healthcare gaps to improve Black maternal health. When enacted into law, the Momnibus package will have a significant impact on the lives of millions of women across the country, particularly Black women who have experienced staggeringly disproportionate outcomes in maternal mortality. It will be another example of the good that can come from public policy. So it is my pleasure and honor to present the 2021 Mentor Award to Representative Lauren Underwood.
Well, thank you, Justine. And hi, ladies. I am so glad to be with you tonight. And I'm so grateful to PLEN for this recognition. PLEN has such a dynamo board of directors. All of you who are here, I know what it means to be in this town, seeking support, seeking mentorship, and seeking a place to just be myself, right? That was me 5 years ago and throughout my career in Congress, before Congress. And I appreciate this recognition so sincerely. Thank you. Listen, the Congress is a weird place. It is a toxic workplace at the moment. Can we be honest? Can we just sit in that fact, and that the toxicity is coming from us? It's coming from women, in addition to some others on the outside. But we have our part in it, and that's not unique to my workplace. That's part of, I think, our experience as women, as professional women in workplaces all around this country. However, we also know how to build bridges, how to work together, and how to move forward. And how to move forward to uplift one another, and more importantly, the women that we serve around the country. When I think about women's voices in this Congress, we are the loudest, we are the boldest, and we are the most influential voices coming out of Capitol Hill. And that is something that is so powerful, and that we cannot overlook where we are in this place in American history. Even the fact that in the middle of Women's History Month, we can have this moment where, yes, last week we just passed a monumental American Rescue Plan with provisions to increase the economic security of women and families around this country. But then this week we can bring to the floor a Violence Against Women Act and the Equal Rights Amendment, and we can continue this push towards justice and equality and equity. We can continue to push for everybody to feel seen and heard and recognize that we have an opportunity to build a country where there truly is justice for all. And that's the work that we're doing. And I'm so excited about it. Listen, this is not always a linear path. Legislation doesn't take a linear path. It certainly is not a linear path to Congress. And I would not have gotten to my position had it not been for a credible succession of mentors, women leaders in this town and in Illinois and around the country who believed in me and invested in me. And now it's my honor to do the same. If you are sitting here thinking about your next step in leadership, if you are sitting here thinking about, does my voice matter? How can I have a larger impact? Is running for Congress or running for office for me? What should I be doing next? Think about the thing that makes you afraid, and think about the thing that you would do if fear wasn't a factor, and then run towards it. For me, it was running for Congress. And I had always hoped that I could do it, but wasn't for sure. And take a chance on yourself. That's what I'll leave you with. You can do it. I believe in you. And I'm so excited to see what you accomplish. Thank you for having me. It really means a lot.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman. I know you are an inspiration to many of the young people that are attending our seminar this week for sure. So thank you so much. Last but not least, I want to introduce you to David Brown, who is the Senior Vice President of Federal Government Affairs and Public Policy at Exelon, to present our final award.
Super. Thank you, Sarah. It's an honor to be with you tonight, and thank you for your service to the organization. I know you'll be missed. PLEN's mission, I've got to tell you, is more important now than ever. We would certainly be a lot better off as a nation with 538 Lisa Murkowskis and Laura Underwoods in Congress. It's my pleasure to be here tonight to present the PLEN Lifetime Achievement Award to our very own Ellie Shaw. Now, if you're like me, your first reaction is there is absolutely no way that Ellie is old enough to win a Lifetime Achievement Award for anything. But at the same time, as you all know, Ellie has indeed managed to pack a lifetime of invaluable service into her years supporting PLEN. She has served as a speaker, a mentor, a founding member of the PLEN Advisory Board, board president, not just once, but twice. She's been a constant advocate for PLEN. She has been a relentless recruiter of financial supporters, of students, speakers, and mentors. She's truly devoted her time, her talent, and her treasure to this organization. On a personal note, I've known Ellie almost since she first arrived in Washington, and we've had a chance to work very closely over the years. She is an expert in political affairs. She is widely viewed as a leader by her peers. She is perhaps Washington's most enthusiastic Packers fan. I'm sure you never knew that. I can truly not say enough about Ellie. And at a time in Washington when it seems like people are increasingly looking out just for themselves, Ellie continues to look for opportunities to help lift up others. You could not find a better mentor, advocate, or friend, and you certainly could not find a more deserving winner for the PLEN Lifetime Achievement Award. So please join me in congratulating Ellie on this well-deserved honor.
Thank you so much for amazing, kind words. Yes, I think the first time that Vanessa and Caitlin approached me about lifetime achievement, I said, I'm way too young to earn a lifetime achievement. That's for someone who's, much, much older, but I appreciate the honor. It's a stage where I don't feel worthy to be on the same Zoom stage tonight as Senator Murkowski, Congresswoman Underwood, Tammy, and Ariana. It is such an honor to be with all of you. Mentoring is, as David was saying, is at the heart of what is important about PLEN, why I stay involved with the organization. As David mentioned, so thankful for the support of Exelon, for many of the other sponsors who sponsored this evening. Your sponsorship and many of the organizations who have sponsored year over year, this is, you were doing it before it was sort of cool to do. So we really appreciate the sponsorship that you've had over the many years. It's so important, as we know that 55% of the PLEN students who attend are women of color or from groups that are underrepresented in the policy arena. We know that it is still so important to give opportunity to women and to students who might not have this opportunity, who might not be able to do a full semester internship, but want to get sort of a taste and feel what Washington really is like. And I think they really do get that opportunity over a 3 or 5 day seminar that PLEN can host for them. There are 3 people. I hate to mention any specific names because once you start doing that, I've kind of scrolled through the list of Zoom of participants, and I see so many of the people and the names I recognize, and you've played such an important role in PLEN or in my life or as a mentor. But there are 3 that really need to be highlighted tonight, because if it weren't for them, I wouldn't have even heard about PLEN or been involved with PLEN. So one is a former colleague of mine who now probably 14 years ago was transitioning into a different role and out of American Express. Kimber Messersmith was one who said, there's this organization called PLEN. You should really get involved with it, serve as a speaker, serve as a mentor. And so Kimber is a name that, had she never mentioned PLEN, I would still not know about PLEN today. The 2 staff people at the time, both at PLEN, Shannon Roan and Emily Castile, are 2, again, names that I'll just mention tonight, because had they not been at PLEN, had they not been involved with the organization, I probably would not be involved over the last 14 years that I have been involved with PLEN. So those 3 are ones that I'll name specifically, but again, I could go through the list of participants And there's so many that deserve recognition tonight, and my involvement in the organization, and so many sponsors, friends that have tuned in tonight and are here to listen. So I greatly thank all of them. Sarah, Nancy, Marwa, the board. I'm just so proud of all of the accomplishments that you have had this year in such a year that was so chaotic and needed so much of a pivot. You guys are inspirational. And, as David was saying, it wouldn't be, I wouldn't be here to, use my time, talent, and treasure if it was not for my family. My husband, Brian, is here tonight. My parents, Bill and Karen, are on the Zoom. My brother, Josh, and his wife, Adriana, and my sister, Sarah Beth, Joe, and Avery. So thank you to all of you. You are all inspirations to me. Again, I love looking through the Zoom list and participant list to see, remember, reflect on the names that are here tonight that are participating. Please continue to do so. PLEN is more important than ever. As Justine said, we are here to continue to increase the number of women in top leadership and influencing all aspects of public policy. And that is so important, no matter what role you end up in. And I love to just hear the stories of the students. We have so many students on tonight, and I look forward to engaging with them as we go into the private rooms and have chats, learn a little bit more about what their next steps are and what they hope to accomplish. But tonight, if you are in one of those rooms, know that you are probably speaking to women that you will hear their names in the future. And I'm just so excited to be honored among so many tonight. So thank you very much. And I'll turn it back to Sarah.
Thank you so much, Ellie. And now I want to turn it over to Vanessa Kermick, our board chair, for a few closing remarks. And then we will break into, for those of you who are staying for the VIP rooms, we'll break into those rooms after that.
I just want to thank everyone for tonight. I don't know about you, but the speeches from the award winners and from the introductory remarks just really moved me tonight. And my heart goes out to the award winners, and there's a reason why we picked you, and it really shone tonight. But on behalf of the board, I just want to thank everyone for your support and participation of this event. Without you, our mission would not be possible. In particular, I'd just like to thank all of our sponsors, especially our change makers, Exelon, and our champion sponsors, Texas Women University and the Blue Cross Association. I also want to thank our advocates, state and federal communication, Hooper, Lundy, and Bookman, our role models, Data Axel, Lisa T.D. Rice, President of Newcomb, Ellie Shaw, with Ellie Shaw's Pack Pals. Thank you for all the Pack Pals who are on the list. And then our host committee with Centurion Group, Women in Government Relations, Marianne Alexander, Roshna Chowdhury, Erica Dahl, Nancy Dietz, Caitlin Donahue, Lisa Kenzig, Cherie Ann Kelly, and Sally McDaniel. Thank you so much for stepping up and making this event possible tonight. And thank you for all attending. So because of your support, we've been able to maintain and expand our programming during the pandemic, bringing our content and networking opportunities to more young women than ever before. I especially want to thank Sarah Bruno, and as she mentioned, this is her last week with us. So her leadership for the past 5 years has been incredible, and we will truly miss her and are grateful for all of her time, energy, and love that she has put into this organization. I also want to congratulate Senator Murkowski, Congresswoman Underwood, Tammy Key, Ariana Rodriguez, and Ellie Shaw. You are amazing role models. It's hard to believe this was our second virtual event, but as Sarah said, hopefully we'll be in person next year and in each other's company to celebrate each other. Thank you for all you've done, and let's keep building each other up. Thank you, and I look forward to future mentoring with each other. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Sarah.
Thank you so much. One more huge thank you to the board of directors for making the last 5 years so special to me. And also, we could not do this work without our amazing, amazing staff, Marwa, Ode, and Sierra DeVos, who just joined us last week and has gotten thrown into this. And our two program assistants, Ria Rao and Amina Nassif, who I don't know are on, but thank you guys. I can't thank you enough for all of your hard work, and you make this worth it every day. So thanks. We are gonna break into our little breakout rooms here. Caitlin is gonna